What's up, guys? In this video, it's my first video, so if I suck, feel free to drop a comment down below, give us some feedback on how this is doing. This is my review of the Zastava M92. Had it for about a year and a half, shot 3,000 rounds through it. My shit's already falling. All well. Anyways, I'm just going to be going over my experiences with it, how it's held up, how I like it. Also, all the modifications I've done to it, which hopefully you can see that on the camera there. Get out of this sling, dropped my hat. All right, so the Zastava m92. Overall though, spoil it, I do like it. I'm gonna go down a checklist here, so if you see me looking away, I am not stupid. Anyways, first problem that I had with this, which is worth noting, ended up not being that big of a deal, although it was very frustrating at first, was when I first got this. The trigger was having a hard time resetting, so every time I'd rack the cartridge handle back, shoot it, then hold it down, and see if it would reset. It would not reset. It would just stay back there, which is a big problem because it's semi-automatic, so if the trigger's not resetting, it's pretty much going to be kind of like a bolt action. To reset the trigger, I'd have to push forward, which, what did I do? I went on the AK-47 Reddit to figure out, hopefully they would have a good tip, which I used to go on there once in a while, and tagged Zastava USA in it. And they told me, actually I don't think they're very much help. Basically, this is my first AK also. There's, the way AK triggers work is they have these wire springs that push down on the trigger to reset it. And basically it was supposed to be pushing up against the shelf. I don't know the technical terms, I'm not a guru. And it wouldn't reset, which was a problem. But I ended up just deciding to dick around with it and took like a Phillips head screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, and bent it in place to make sure it was pushed on that ledge. And then I got to work, which was nice because I was very stressed out at first. I was worried that I would have to send it back, which would suck when you first got a new gun. But haven't had a problem with that since. We'll go down my Nothing Fancy checklist here. I like Nothing Fancy's reviews, so I'm going to steal some of his sauce. Anyways, philosophy of use. Also, I forgot, I'm supposed to be looking at the camera, aren't I? But who cares? Philosophy of use, why did I get the Zastava m92? Second Amendment, pretty much. The reason the Second Amendment was put in place is the reason I got it. So you could read between the lines there. Minuteman rifle, pistol. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And before this, I had an AR-15, which I don't have anything against AR-15s, but AKs are definitely a lot more fun, cool, which is why I got this. I feel like everyone has the same AR-15 with a free-floated barrel, and it's very unsexy and not appealing to me. So I wanted to get an AK. I got a short barrel AK because I heard that the ballistics out of 7.62 from a short barrel were pretty good. Only loses, this is a 10-inch barrel on the M92, it only loses like 200 feet per second, so it's still shooting about 2,000 feet per second. So that's really good. So you can have a compact package and still not lose very much power. The way I see it is like, what is it really worth it to have 6 more inches added onto here for 200 feet more per second when 7.62 is not really a long range gun anyways. So yeah, with that said, I'm going to get into the rest of the features that I've done to this thing. This is not how it came. It originally came no brace and all wood furniture. I kept the wooden hand guard here because wood is sexy. I like wood. Makes it look more AK-ish and less like an AR-15. But as a GT, just kidding, who cares? I'll go from tip to butt just like every fucking NPC does on YouTube. Anyways, Bulgarian 4-piece flash hider, got it from CNC Warrior. Highly recommend. It is heavy as fuck. So when you're aiming, it does add a lot of weight to the end of your gun. So can you see me? It does add a lot of weight to your gun, especially since it's at the end, but it does pretty much minimize the flash to just about zero. Sometimes there'll be like a very small flash that comes out of it, but it's nothing compared to without it or using the booster that came with it, which should have had that, but I didn't. I have tried the booster before. It's way lighter, which is nice if that's what you're trying to go for, but doesn't really minimize the flash very much, which is kind of what I was going for. I was a little bit worried if this would have too much recoil. It doesn't, or at least I stopped being a little bitch and learned how to control recoil, unlike a lot of people that just shoot AR-15s. I wouldn't say it's too overly gassed. Feels about normal to me. I haven't shot very many AKs either, to be fair. Anyways, I put on a CNC Warrior / Bone Steel bottom handguard, which it came at the top. I didn't really want to use it because it wiggles around and has a pick rail, which is kind of pointless in my opinion if it wiggles. And also the wood protects your hand from the heat when you shoot it a lot better. And I can mount a flashlight on this, the bottom handguard, and also the hand stop, which this is a Surefire. I forget what model. Maybe I'll try to mention the model in the description because I am a dummy. Zenico hand stop, which I got right before the war in Ukraine, which was cool. It was like $50. I have no idea what they're going for now. Totally cool. However, it is really heavy. And honestly, I wouldn't say it's that worth it unless you're like a Zenico enthusiast and you just want your AK to look cool. In hindsight, I probably just want to got the small plastic hand stops, save on weight, which this is already heavy enough. And then sling, this is just a T-Rex arm sling, and I mounted it with these little gunsling mounts that I got off of Amazon, which I'm surprised it hasn't broken yet. It's very light and doesn't feel that strong, but I haven't had a problem with it. Probably put paracord on that if it does break because it's quieter. This kind of wriggles around, and I forget where I got this clip. Pretty sure I got this clip on Amazon too, but hey, it works. No problems there. And then also with the bone steel handguard, since Picatinny rail will kind of chew at your hands a good bit without it, so I bought some, I forget what brand it was. Might have been Magpul. I don't think it was the Picatinny the guardrails. I like that a lot. Adds a lot more grip. And sometimes I take this hand stop off. Just have it on right now because it looks cool, honestly, and it's Zenico. But you don't really need it. It does help control recoil of 7.62 a good bit. So maybe that's something to consider there. And then going back to here, haven't done too much. I want to put a Texas Weapon Systems dust cover on this so I can put a magnifier with this Holosun, I believe it's 503, with a solar panel on it, which I don't really know how well that works. I have batteries in it. So yeah, don't know, but the optic works great. Maybe I'll do a review on it in the future. Very clear red dot, and since this gun's not really a long distance gun, red dot's really all you need. I do like, this isn't a mod I did to it, but the hinging dust cover on an AK is really nice. By the way, disassembly is super easy on this, way easier than an AR, because all the pieces are really big and simple. You could probably learn how to disassemble and put this thing together in like a minute. No problem. I love that because cleaning guns kind of sucks, for me at least, when you have to constantly go and pull little tiny parts out and pins and shit like that like you have to do with the AR. Don't like that. Super easy to clean, which I probably only clean it like probably pretty often for an AK, probably 300 rounds, but I normally just wipe it off with a paper towel to get some of the carbon off of it, which it does collect carbon in the piston. So once in a while you probably want to scratch that off, which I did recently. I just took a little metal pick and I just scratched the carbon off. because it was getting pretty gunked up. But this is after like 3,000 rounds and never cleaning the gas piston thoroughly. Down here, US palm grip, which I do like it. Everyone always raves about these grips. I will say though, I like it, but I like the K2 grip that Magpul has a lot more. Have that on my AR. I just like the steeper grip handle, which I don't have that big of hands, so maybe big-handed motherfuckers like these more, which I don't know if I should be cursing. But yeah, it's alright. It's better than the surplus grip that comes with it, which isn't bad. It's cool because it's Serbian surplus grip, but it's pretty skinny and also wasn't at a steep of an angle, so I was finding my elbow flaring out a little bit more. With this, it's like very easy to keep it tucked in, which I like. And then coming back to the brace, Midwest Industries brace, bought it because it was fairly priced and wanted something that was steel. I previously had the, what's that brand? SB Tactical triangle folding brace. That thing blows, never get it. Especially when you're handling something with higher recoil like an AK. It just kept on bending. It was really hard to control the recoil. Slap this thing on, big difference. Way easier to control the recoil, which I have a tail hook compact brace right here, which I recommend as well so far. No problems with it. Haven't even had to retighten it or anything. And then right here, you might be wondering what the hell is that? That's just a homemade cheek riser I made because it's an AK. It makes it look cooler, give it some characteristic. Just helps. Before I had this, I was kind of getting a weld right here close to my chin. So this just helps me get a cheek weld, which is pretty nice, which I like. And then I drilled holes through this piece of wood, sanded it down, put that on there. I've only had this on for like 2 months, but no problems with it so far. And what else? I think that's about it for the features. What else do I got here? Oh, so why did I choose this AK over the other AKs? Like, it was either, if I was looking for a shorter barrel AK, it's like either this, the Arsenal SAM7K, or a PSA. Don't have anything against those guns. I've never tried them. But the reason I got this, I was originally considering getting this other SAM7K, which is like twice as much. But that only has an 8-inch barrel, which although 7.62 is good out of a short barrel, I figured that would be not as good ballistically. I was looking at some data online. So I prefer to keep the 10-inch barrel. It's like ideal ballistics without losing too much, and you're cutting a lot off the barrel. So I like that. And then, what else? What was I talking about? I totally forgot. This happens. I have a goldfish brain. Oh, why this AK? This was half the price of the SAM7K, longer barrel. Only downside, I will say, of this one is Yugo furniture, which I actually like. It's just a little bit harder to find parts, but that's not really becoming a problem anymore. So I like it. It's longer than an AKM, so it's honestly better for like getting a full grip around it. You get more rail space if you put a rail on it, which isn't a problem. And yeah, I figured I'd be able to save $1,000 and then be able to put accessories on it, because having a SAM7K without any accessories would be pretty dumb, in my opinion. Anyways, that's why I got it. No regrets so far. The only thing I will say, another thing about Yugos is, this is probably the biggest factor I think you'd want to keep in mind, is it's heavier, because it has the bulged trunnion and a 1.5 millimeter receiver compared to the 1 millimeter receiver, which adds weight. It does add durability too, which is nice to know that your AK will be more durable, but it does add weight. This thing unloaded, set up like this, is 8.6 pounds. With a mag, it's like 10 something, loaded mag. So that's cool, but not great. But honestly, I kind of got used to it. I don't think it's a big thing that bothers me. Just go hit the gym, you know, don't be a puss or a baby. And other than that, accuracy, or did I say durability yet? Durability, No problems with this thing yet at all. Not really much to say there. 3,000 rounds, which I do some tactical LARPing stuff on the flat range with it, and I've taken it on one ruck out in the country, and no problems. It was cold. Shot it in sleet, snow, rain, no problem. It's gotten muddy. No issues. Not a single malfunction out of it. So happy about that there. Accuracy. Never tried putting magnification on it, although I would like to see that, to see what I could get out of it at longer distance. But I've shot steel with it. Could hit about a foot, a square that's like 1 foot by 1 foot, pretty consistently at 200 yards, which I was a little bit surprised about. Wasn't expecting that. Pretty happy. All right, for some reason, my camera stopped recording. Anyways, what I was saying was, out to 200 yards. I already said that actually. Let's go to 300. 300 yards was a different story. It was kind of hard for me to get consistent hits on steel at 300 yards, although two factors. One, I'm probably not that great at long distance shooting. Don't have very much experience with it. And then two, I didn't have magnification, which magnification makes things a lot easier because I don't have great eyes. It wasn't super easy to see the target, but I was pretty happy with 200 yards. So I would say actually it's pretty good for a 10-inch barrel 7.62, much better than I expected. I would call that practical accuracy. And you don't need much more than that. What else? Weight. That's another big one. I don't know if I already said this. 8.6 pounds unloaded without a mag, about 10.2 with a loaded mag, depending on the type of mag, whether it's steel or a polymer mag, which honestly, Bulgarian polymer mags are the way to go, by the way. Much lighter. Steel mags are great. I love steel mags, but they are heavier. For every 4 mags that you carry, compared to the 4 polymer mags, you're adding 1 extra pound, which that's going to add up if you're in a scenario where you're going to have to go long distance on foot, because every pound matters. Other than that, let's get to the pros and cons to wrap this thing up. Pros, reliable, it's not a single malfunction, super happy with it there. I trust this thing with my life. Much more than my AR, I know it's going to go boom every time I shoot it, which not saying ARs aren't reliable, but I feel even more faith in this thing because I know it's so simple. The tolerances are loose, there's nothing that's going to be jamming it up, and it can take more gunk than an AR would, which you don't really need to even clean these for a long time for them to be reliable, or it's like ARs probably have to maintain them a lot better and more often. It's simple, super easy to take apart, clean, love that. Maybe not as simple for if you're doing like installation of handguards and stuff. Like this lower handguard took a lot of filing, but after I got the filing down, it's pretty simple, which is pretty standard with AKs, not a big deal. Yeah, so I like that. It's cool. It's different than an AR-15. Not everyone has an AK. Some people think they're the gun of the enemy, but I turn me on, and I think they're starting to turn a lot of people on because they're different, and they're still really effective, and the ergonomic, people will talk shit about the ergonomics. Ergonomics on these aren't bad, whether you're shooting right or left-handed. The worst part is just having to charge the charging handle every time you put in a new mag, which adds a little bit of time, and then also not having the last shot bolt hold open. But honestly, that leads to another thing that I just remembered that I'm glad that my video shut off so I could think of this, is I honestly prefer, I haven't found polymer mags with a bolt hold open follower in them, but I also do have bolt hold open metal mags, which I love those because then there's never a time where I'm at the range shooting that I pull a trigger when I think it's going to go boom and it doesn't. I'll see my bolt lock back and I know that it's time to reload, which that is great. I imagine that, I don't know, maybe it could save your life if you're in a situation, but that's kind of my thought process. It saves you time on not having to line up a shot and shoot. A lot of people talk shit about them, like, oh, the mag's hard to get out. If the bolt hold open is holding the bolt and pushing against the magazine follower. It's not that bad. Go to the gym and stop being a pussy. Other than that, I also like 10-inch AK. It's pretty compact, which I don't really use it for anything where I need a compact gun, but if you want to put it in a backpack, fits in an Alice pack, even with this muzzle device on it, this flash hider. If you take this off, you can fit it in like a standard size backpack, which is pretty cool. So you could conceal this if you needed to. I like that. And plus, who doesn't like folding brace, stock, whatever? It's pretty key, pretty cool. Powerful and velocity. Those are also things I like about it. It has more stopping power than 5.56. Which if I were going to get a longer barrel AK, I'd just want a 5.56 AK or 5.45, because those are better for long range, and that's when velocity really matters. 10-inch close range within 100-200 yards, not as important, and it's an 123 grain projectile, which I mainly use Wolf Performance, which I like a lot because the ammo is fairly clean, doesn't gunk up the gun as much, and it's pretty consistent. I have no problems with Wolf Performance, 123 grain, and the velocity only loses 200, if that, feet per second by cutting 6 inches off the barrel. All right, camera died again, but that's pretty much it, I believe. Short barrel, still has power, me like. Other than that, which I don't know if my talk about the paint job got cut out. Yeah, I painted it. You should do the same. That's all I'll say. Quick blurb. And that's it, the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave a like and subscribe. If you want more videos like this, we're going to be going over some more how-tos. Basically how to ball out, be a goon on a budget, be a patriot on a budget, be prepared for any type of emergencies or disasters or shit hits the fan, whatnot. Leave a comment. Tell me I suck if I do. Ask me any questions. Let me know how your experiences was. If you have a Zastava M92 as well. Other than that, have a good day, suckers, and goodbye.